There are over 2 million members in our personal finance. That's over on Reddit. Every day, thousands of people go there to figure out what to do with their 401k plan, and then some of them regret that decision.
Today, we're going to be going through Reddit's 401k posts and grading every single one on, is it correct? Partially correct? Dangerous.
Okay, this one is theoretically from 3 months ago. Employer 401k is horrible. So without getting too involved, I love the spelling, with the explanation, my company's 401k is horrible. Explain it to me like I'm a kid. What are my alternatives to contributing to my employer's 401k? Am I better just contributing to my Roth IRA every pay and keep a good pace that way, or should I just grin and bear it? For info purposes, my employer contributes bare minimum and is a vested 401k based off how long I stay. Now then, the number one answer, I'd start by contributing up to the company match and then move to an IRA and HSA if you have it, then come back and put more in the 401k when it's your last remaining tax-preferred option. I would start by contributing up to the company match to at least make sure you're getting the company match.
Got it.
Number two, I would then, if you have extra money, contribute to an IRA and HSA if you have it, okay? There are limits on that. Then number three, if you still have more money to spend, put it in the 401k when it's your last remaining tax-preferred option. So the person is giving the option by being purposely vague. Not vague is not a bad word, okay, between pre-tax or Roth, okay? So this answer is more partially correct than correct. It's definitely in between partially correct and correct. So we're going to do a 5-point scale here. Zach's tough. New company 401k match seems insanely good. Am I missing anything? All right. I just started a new job, and they said their 401k match is 2 to 1. $2 to every dollar I put in, up to $4,000 per quarter. So up to $16,000 a year. What's the company and are they hiring? And yes, I'm saying that as a business owner. That seems insane, right? Are there any gotchas I should be asking about or possibly missing?
Damn, I thought my match was insane. 25% no limit.
20% no limit.
20% no limit. So around $4,000 extra a year. I thought that was a quarter.
So around so this is the answer. So around $4,900 extra a year if I maxed out.
Okay.
$4,000 extra quarter is bonkers. I'd check if there's a vestment period. He's gonna go to the tailor. I think he means vesting. We're gonna give him autocorrect on this one, but that's not really a gotcha. Max that stuff out. Okay, so
say that's correct. If it's a reasonable plan,
this is 100% correct.
This is slam dunk.
This is not a gotcha. This person's 100% correct, except we're going to say that autocorrect. He missed an autocorrect on investment. Okay. Now then, 30 some odd years ago, when I was working downtown in the Loop, we had a client who had a 9-to-1 match formula. It was a retail enterprise, 9-to-1. It was an intelligence test. People were maxing out. Question number 3. Answer the question.
Okay, read it.
401k. Company only matches up to 1%. In the 401k plan my company offers, it states the following. The company will make a matching contribution on your behalf in an amount equal to 25% of your contributions that are not in excess of 4% of your compensation. So basically, they only match 1%? I barely grasp what a 401k even is, let alone all the legal jargon in the plan packet. Thanks. Okay, not sure what the question is, but let's hear the answer.
The answer. It's 1% of your salary, but they are not matching your salary. They are matching your contribution. So it's a 25% match of your contribution to the plan, subject to the 4% cap. That's a decent match. Looking at it at a more 1% match is not the correct way.
Yeah, as a mere 1% match. Okay, Zach, you've made a mistake. You have picked 2 correct answers in a row. Okay.
Christopher's disappointed. He can't yell at Reddit.
I'm yelling at the whiny question. Okay, Catherine, I'm going to very simple questions.
Yes.
Are you the CFO of this company?
Yes.
Okay. Is 1% substantially more than 0%?
Absolutely.
Yeah. Okay. 100%.
All day
buddy, go through the DOL filings and see how many 401k plans have zero employer contribution. Okay? Now then, what?
So like a Pokemon, if you only have one Pokemon to collect that Pokemon.
Yeah. Okay. Now then, okay. So here's a fun bit. They're only talking about match. So we're only going to give this answer a 99% correct score because they're not a compliance junkie. This answer would have gotten 100% correct if there had been a follow-up question. Hey, by the way, is your employer making a profit-sharing contribution? Hey, does your company have a cash balance plan as well? Okay, so that's why it's only a 99% correct answer because people very often, I'm going to use the word whine, okay? Whine about only a 1%
You could say
match.
Fixate. Fixate might be.
Fixate? No, fixate is neutral. This
No,
is
it's
whining,
not.
all right?
Haven't you met somebody who's fixated and it's
Yeah, that
a
can be really,
damaged
yeah,
goods?
you're right. That could be very negative. All right. So, like, are they making another contribution as well? So, anyway, so like I said, really good question, really good answer. Sorry, really bad question, really good answer. And the person is very right to start off talking about the fact that it's 1% of your salary, not 1% of your deferral. New company 401k has 1.9% management fee, still worth using. I'm starting a new job, and the company 401k offering has a 1.9% management fee before applying any of the management fees for the funds themselves. Most are 0.2 to 0.5%. With a 2% company match, is it worth using this tax-advantaged account, or am I better off just putting extra into my Robinhood brokerage low-expense ETFs?
If you only stay there for a couple of years, it's still worth it. The longer you stay, the worse of a deal it becomes, though. So,
There's another one.
if no match from your employer, then max out your personal Roth space first, then contribute to your 401k plan.
Okay, so
This is correct, partially correct, or
I'm going to
dangerous?
give the second answer a dangerous, okay, because assuming is going on here. There's no assumption, there's no clarification. This person could theoretically be in a family situation where they cannot make a personal Roth contribution because the family, not the person, the family is making too much money. Okay, so the second answer is going to get 1.5 thumbs down. Now then, the first answer, just kind of like, I don't know how we're going to do that. All right, the first answer, is at least partially correct. I even asked some our partners in crime, the 401k girls, who are financial professionals. Even if a plan had an insanely bad 3% record-keeping fee, is that, aren't they still better off doing that than not doing anything? And they agreed. Well, it was a very offhanded conversation. This is not professional, financial advice, but financial professionals agreed it's better to do something than nothing at all. Now then, usually what happens when you see these very large management fees, which I'm assuming they mean, I don't know if they're meaning record-keeping fee or management fee, because some record keepers will have these managed account options, which are very expensive because you're supposed to be able to make a ton of money. Okay? But I don't know about that because they're only listing index funds with like the 0.2 to 0.5 are generally.
That's really crazy.
Yeah,
right?
so it's
Spending
very.
a lot of money
There's
for
a lot of.
funds.
Yeah. Number 5. Okay. I'm sorry, guy. Laid off after 25 years. What to do with the 401k? Looking for advice on what to do with the funds in my 401k. Recently laid off for the first time in my adult life. Sorry. I called the company where my funds are, and they said there are a few options, but they recommend moving the funds into an IRA of my choice. Their fees are about 1%. I have about $225,000 in there. I'm 48 and plan to work until at least 65. I have lots of equity in my house. I plan to be working again soon, but if I understood them correctly, it makes more sense to have these funds in an IRA that I have more control over rather than putting them into a 401k account offered by my next job, which may have rules I don't like. What's the answer, dear?
What the hell?
Okay, go for it.
So you can open an IRA at any major brokerage and roll the 401k into an IRA yourself. No cost. Fidelity, E-Trade, Schwab, free is a 4-letter word. Schwab, etc., will do all the work for you. You do not pay that 1% fee. You will have much more control with an IRA. You can buy, invest in any mutual fund, ETF, stock, etc. Whereas 401k options are quite limited. I think the question, so they have in their 1-800 call me to do an IRA for you. I think the question is whether you should do a traditional IRA or a Roth IRA. What the What the free? You will need to figure out the math yourself on this.
Okay.
That's like unhelpful.
Yeah, we're going to give the dangerous. We're going to give the dangerous on this one. It's kind of like a boomerang, okay? They started to throw the boomerang at Filippo, and it came back at me.
And hit them in the face.
And it hit the thrower in the face, okay? Wow. I love how people list entities that are the absolute poster children of last stage capitalism, saying they will do stuff for free. No.
Yeah.
Okay? Now, the next problem is you will, not may.
We start at the first point, that just because you leave a company doesn't mean you have to take the money out of the 401k plan.
Right. Yeah, exactly. No, but the first part is right. You can open an IRA. That's fine. All right. All right. There's not getting money out of the plan that's not the problem. That it's going to be free is the problem. Also, you can buy, invest in any mutual fund, etc. Wrong. Okay? There are lots of funds out there that you can only get inside retirement plans. Okay? There are a lot of funds that have minimum balances, okay, or are closed, even though you can still make $5 a week deposit to them inside a 401k plan. All right? So you cannot just say you can get any mutual fund in an IRA. That is wrong and could get somebody down the wrong road. And then they veered off into what the hell? It's not whether you can get a traditional IRA or a Roth IRA. You roll your 401k into a traditional IRA. Then you figure out what you want to do with it afterwards. Okay? So,
roll first, look second?
Yeah.
Is that like jump off the cliff and then decide what's going to happen when you hit the water?
But they didn't. Now, depending on where this person's at, they've been there for a long time. Sorry that they're not working there anymore, $225,000. They may have insanely low record keeping and fund expense, because if this person's been there for 25 years and they've got $225,000, there's probably millions in that plan, which means they're buying funds at an institutional rate. All right? So this could be dangerous.
Dig deeper.
This one we're going to agree dangerous because bad assumptions, bad advice, bad statements, and really need to ask more questions. And yes, we don't know, maybe somebody else answered those, but Zach has only given us the question, the answer to look at, and that's what we're grading on.
Okay, so I do want to say the straight up thing is when you're in an ERISA plan, which is a 401k plan, you do have protections from creditors, right? So you put it in an IRA, and that's not true. Okay, so there's straight up a difference already in terms of the protection from creditors. So
I love it when you get Reddit pissed.
So I'm just like, yes, do pay attention. Hey, you've been at this company for 25 years and you kind of thought the plan was okay for that. What's the change all of a sudden? I mean, yes, you're mad because they fired you or they laid you off. But if it was good enough to be what?
Here's the other thing. He said laid off.
Yeah, you might be.
He did not say terminated.
Can you actually
Double
do a dissolution?
dangerous. We found out during COVID, laid off is not NOT, underlined, bold font, a distributable event. Just because, and then the other thing is that I called the company so part of the question is, call the company where my funds are, and they said there are a few options. Okay, you probably need to talk to HR. They may know more. Record keepers are not always the final truth on compliance rules, but what we found out, much to our surprise, 7 years ago, early on in COVID, is that being laid off is not a distributable event.
It's not a separation of service.
True, the person might be using that to make it sound better than they got fired, but the question is laid off. Okay, so we're going to give the
Lots of
answer,
danger.
double dangers.
Danger.
Now then, if you want to learn more, and we sure hope you do, especially if you're a financial professional or a CPA, we have a monthly webinar that goes deeper into the compliance of 401k plans. And if this is useful, our podcast and other channels are linked below too.
So if you have questions, you can have them addressed by using email and sales@hunterbenefits.com.
Or
If you want to yell and put things on Reddit, there's about a 2% chance that Christopher will see it and yell with you.
0.2%.
But in the end, this is a lesson on having good compliance advice is actually important because, boy, you don't want to screw it up.
Why do people go to Reddit for 401k advice? And it's personal finance. Yeah, well, that's true. And then in the 401k, and the thing is, the stuff in the 401k subreddit is both better and worse. Okay, you are. I think.
But how do you tell the difference?
Right, then how do they tell the difference?
That's
Right.
the problem.
And I love it when people in 401k Reddit tell me I'm wrong and I don't know what I'm talking about.
That's called sarcasm.
No, they're not. No. Okay. Oh, I'm being sarcastic. Yeah, I'm being sarcastic. They're just not. All right. Okay.
That was the worst turn.
We done an outro. So thank you very much.
I did an outro and then
letters
you kept
coming.
it going. And that is what a man this age does, yelling at the internet.